That day in February of 2007 was the prelude to many, many changes in my life. We had just moved. I had come off a serious depression and my meds were being changed. And I had huge amounts of anxiety of leaving my old house because I was surrounded by neighbors I knew and loved. Like many tinnitus sufferers, I have a background of severe depression and anxiety disorder. Just to walk you through my story a little bit and give you sort of an intimate look at it, my story begins here. I was getting ready for bed just like any other day. I was about to pull back the covers. I had set my alarm, and my husband turned to me and said, "Mandie?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "When the children talk to you, unless you're facing them, you keep saying 'what?' over and over when I can hear them clear across the room." And then he said to me, "Do you have a hearing problem?" And I stood and I stared around the room and I stared at the ceiling because I didn't notice them saying what. I didn't notice anything. And then, like many people, I just dismissed him. I just didn't want to think. I actually can't hear. And so I went to bed. I got up, made my way to the bathroom like so many days before, and I turned on the light. And I went to the restroom just like every American has to. And I stood up, and all of a sudden the room just began like this. Everything looked like this. Everything out of whack visually. And I landed on the floor. I didn't really think anything of it then. I simply got back up and I felt fine. I took a shower, came in, and like everyone else in America, I turned on the light and got dressed. And then something else was waiting for me. Something else coming down the hall. Walking dressed. Gonna have that cup of coffee before the rest of the house got up. That fateful day in February 2007. And I came here to this couch. And I laid there with my cup of coffee. And I began to hear a ringing in my head. I had never heard it in my life, and it had a buzzing quality to it. It was high-pitched. Eee! And I was like, oh my God, oh my God. Well, I got the kids to school some way, like so many. You know, you just feel like you have no choice but to keep going. I mean, the world stops for no one. There's the ironing, there's the laundry. Ultimately, there's the door that leads to out there. And from out there into the driveway to your car. And I took everyone to school thinking, surely this is going to just stop. This is nothing I've ever had before permanently. It's going to stop. It's only 42 years old. And so you can imagine I'm walking to the house. Oh my God, oh my God. So I get the telephone and I call my doctor. Like, could barely hear what she has to say on the phone anyway, straining. And then I called her. She got me an appointment with the best audiologist in town. The absolute best guys. And then, to my horror, it's the first week of February, and I'm telling her my ears are ringing like crazy and I think something's wrong with my hearing. And unbelievably, they tell me, you can notice here, that their first appointment, being the best audiologist in Columbia, they told me the first appointment would be the last week of April. Can you believe that? I took it. And I kept waiting for the buzzing and the ringing to go away. I quit some of my old habits. I walked and walked around the house listening to the buzzing. I noticed that I was still saying what all the time, so now I really notice what my husband's saying. And all my psychiatric meds I ditched because I googled tinnitus on the internet, and I found out that maybe, just maybe, it was because of my psychiatric meds. And if I just quit them, I would then be rid of the disease. And so I paced the house, weeping and crying. The first thing to happen, of course, as you can imagine, is I come with the family. I'm going to watch TV. I'm going to try to block it all out. I'm going to try to believe that this is just temporary. And they have the volume on 21.
Meaning we can download it.
I don't hear a word he's saying. So I need 34. And if they give me 34 while it's blasting them out of this TV room, I can hear this dude. So they can hear on 21. I need 34. Yeah. So as we walk through this journey, I hope that I can share with you what tinnitus was like for me. And if you bear with me and watch my videos, if you've just now gotten the disease, if you've just now woke up with the ringing, I'll try to take you on a very slow step-by-step journey of what it is to have this disease. And why it's basically, you're told it's intractable, chronic. Often the doctors don't say incurable, they say habituate. So we're in February, and yeah, I have ringing, and I notice I can't hear as others hear. So it just slowly sinks in on me. I don't even know about the word tinnitus. I have to go Google ringing sound, buzzing in head, and I finally found the definition I just showed all of you on my computer screen. The first symptom, of course, besides blasting the TV beyond what anybody else in this house is willing to accept, was the fact that I couldn't sleep. Not only did I have the huge anxiety and the pain and the sorrow of it, but as I laid in the house, as the hours clocked by, all I could do was fixate on that ringing. I couldn't sleep. So, no matter how hard I tried and how many hours went by on the clock, 3 a.m. would come and go, and I would walk through the house sobbing, crying, exhausted from not sleeping, and scared to death of what all of this meant. And in a darkened house and in darkened rooms, I paced and I walked, just hoping to go to sleep. I hadn't yet been to the psychiatrist to ask for sleep meds. Really, the only thing I've done is figure out I have tinnitus and I can't hear. I called back the supposed best ENT in all of town, and they told me they can't see me any sooner. They said, "Lady, if you can see someone else, fine, or just wait it out." While my general practitioner assured me they were the very best.